Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
So, August, Top Rank leave ESPN, and let's not get it twisted. They're looking to do a split deal between DAZN and is it Max? HBO Max, I believe it is. A lot of people think they're doing that out of choice, so they're not restricted to one broadcaster. No, that's not true. There's no promotional outlet who wouldn't take the money if the broadcaster or the streaming app said, look, we'll buy your fight catalog and we'll invest in all your fight cards on your roster. They came to the party too late. DAZN got Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, Oscar. They came a little late. By August, they're out of there. And it's being said that Top Rank leaving will affect the broadcasting of ESPN's content in America. And when question has been asked about the future of Boxer at Sky,
I have nothing to say about it.
No one has come out outright and said they're getting booted off. But it looks bleak. They're just not giving Ben the budget. Ben just will not be able to put out enough cards to keep all these fighters happy. The output has decreased by half of cards being put out from when he got there in 2021. Purse bid issues. We know all about that. The cards are not good enough. Do Sky stay in boxing is the question if he does go. Do TNT stay in boxing when Frank Warren goes?
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
The damage control starts.
I haven't spoke to them. Like I said, we have to get to the bottom of everything. We have to find out facts first, and then we can discuss it. Turkey and Salah were instantly worried. Floyd right now is not feeling well, obviously. They did release him from the hospital, but he's not feeling well, so health is first.
So Floyd Schofield, who pulled out of his voluntary challenge to Shakur Stevenson's 135 WBC title when he was hospitalized. Speculation, this was either a stunt to get out of the fight or he couldn't make the weight and made himself ill in the process of trying to make the weight. His dad is now retracting comments and deleting social media posts. There was one where they say they poisoned his son. That's been deleted. He suggested a masseuse who is part of Shakur Stevenson's team wiped a cream on his son. But he's since had a change of heart. In all due respect, we cannot blame Shakur or his team. I believe Shakur wanted to really fight Kid. We wish Shakur and his team success. I hope we can fight in the near future. All things are forgiven. Who are you forgiving? After making these wild allegations, who are you forgiving? Who needs your forgiveness? Shouldn't it be the other way around? You should be looking for Shakur's forgiveness. Schofield Jr. was examined in hospital. The hospital found nothing apparently. Very, very unprofessional. Father and boxer. Now some people may say he's only 22, Beach. You can't be so hard on him. 22 is a grown man. He's old enough now to know that his dad may have done a lot for him to get him to this point here. But that's no more than his obligation as a father. As of now, and Floyd Schofield Jr.'s career from here onwards, his dad is a liability and a nutcase.
Everyone's a fruit and a nutcase.
I'm getting this one. I'm not gonna lie. No.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna take this one.
Want to bet your purse?
I'm not betting person. I'm not betting.
That's coming with me though.
No, that's not.
That's me.
We'll see soon.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see.
Same weaknesses, huh?
We all have faults. We're all not perfect. And you know that. We all make mistakes.
Yeah. Just don't make none of them fight night.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, JARON boots ENNIS 33-0, 29 inside the distance. The IBF welterweight champion takes on the WBA champion, Emantis Stanionis, 15-0, 9 inside the distance. Live on DAZN, April 12th. JARON told Stanionis, keep the belt warm for me. Stanionis said, I'm getting this one and another one. So, it went on. Probably not the best candidates for trash talking, neither of them. It will take place at the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey, April the 12th. Both Boots and Stanionis had to play the back when the likes of Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter and Errol Spence were doing what they were doing when the PBC had 147 on lock. Stanionis actually took step-aside money to accommodate Spence to make a couple of fights, including the losing effort to Terence Crawford. for Undisputed. Now it's time for these two to emerge from the shadows, and actually, it's one of the biggest fights in America right now. I would argue, in terms of importance, this is on a par with Benavidez versus Morrell, which is probably the biggest fight of the year across the pond. Now, Boots wasn't at his best against Shakadson last November. He wasn't, but he won and made the second defense of the title that he collected from the email when Terence Crawford was stripped last year. Now, Stanionis can perhaps capitalize on the defensive frailties of Boots Ennis. But Boots turned down a big purse. He should be fighting on Saturday against Virgil Ortiz, or could be fighting on Saturday against Virgil Ortiz at 154. He declined it because he wanted to unify the straps at 147. So he's got this unification, despite him saying it's time to move up post-fight after his lukewarm performance against Kushadson, however you pronounce that name. Some people actually believe Stanionis could pull the upset off. I do not. I think Boots is going to be too big, too powerful, and throw too many punches. Stanionis also isn't helped by having 2 fights since 2021 at age 30. I have Boots winning. I feel it will be a very competitive fight, though.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
There are extreme circumstances where Turki Al-Sheikh can't get fights done, but this is why it's been so important. A lot of quote-unquote hardcores wanted to see Christian Mbilli versus Kevin Sadjo, eliminator for the IBF 168-pound title. Now, the fight will not happen because Mbilli's promoter, Estefan, says, "We have suffered an injustice and we do not accept it." The IBF ordered that the purse bid be no later than April the 30th. But Kevin Sadjo's promoter, it says here, is planning the fight for May the 8th, which is a major public holiday in France, and allowed him ultimately to win the bid. Now, some people are saying that Sadjo's promoter should have asked for an extension. And some people are saying that Mbilli's promoter, Camille Estefan, is complaining because he doesn't want to go to France, where the fight will sell apparently more than it will in Canada, where Mbilli is based, even though he's French himself. Mbilli will now instead fight at the Videotron Center in Canada before the beginning of the summer against an undetermined opponent. That's a shame. That's a shame. I don't see why Mbilli's promoter is saying it is some injustice. Yeah, maybe Sadjo's promoter wasn't totally transparent. At the same time, if the fight's bigger in France, it's bigger in France. That's where Mbilli should travel, and he should fight.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
Daniel Dubois, withdrawn medically, we understand at the moment, not able to have that fight with Joseph Parker. And Ben Shalom also revealed in another interview, he might have said it to the guys, but we didn't see it there, it took 15 minutes with Turki Al-Sheikh to sign the Martin Bakole fight to fight Joseph Parker.
Wow. To all the boxing fans listening to this,
I don't know what this world is coming to.
So, 2 days to go. IBF heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois is ruled out by the doctors. He's ill. Second fighter to fall ill and has had to withdraw from this magnificent card in Riyadh on Saturday. Daniel's illness hasn't been disclosed as yet. So Joseph Parker, left without a dance partner, is said to be taking on Martin Bakole, which is obviously a very exciting proposition in terms of replacements. But Bakole was supposed to fight F.A. Jagba in May. He's out of camp. He's leaving from the Congo to go to Saudi. He's not in training camp. Is he ready to take on Joseph Parker, who's done a full camp? And Joseph Parker, roadwork, sparring, conditioning, all centered around Daniel Dubois for the last couple of months. All that muscle memory from his training centered around Daniel Dubois. Is it wise to take on such a strong championship contender like Bakole at short notice? Can he make the adjustments? It's different for Bakole because he may have studied F.A. Jagba, but he hasn't ate, drunk and slept a Jagba because the camp hasn't started. Who's crazy for taking this fight? I'd say Joseph Parker. I think Bakole is one of them guys who can just get in the ring and fight without a training camp. His body type has changed a lot since he's turned pro. He's put on a lot of weight, I don't think he does a lot of cardio. I think he just spars. Anyway, I think he just does a lot of sparring. He's going to be coming in there 34 pounds heavier than Daniel Dubois would have done. 34 pounds. And he doesn't adapt his style for potential opponents. He's going to come in there and try and walk you down with big shots. So a change of opponent is not going to affect him. It's just a seek and destroy thing that he's on. But Parker, he's fought a variation of different strategies. He's fought on the back foot. He's tried to go toe-to-toe in some of his fights. So he tailors his fights around his opponents more than Bakole does. But because Parker's put in all that work and geared himself up for a challenge, it looks like he's going to go for it. I'll believe it when I see it in the ring. You know, Spencer Brown was talking about Joseph Parker will fight anybody, so they'll take any replacement. But Team Parker, I'm going to be having serious discussions about this. This ain't finalized, as far as I'm concerned. If this fight happens, you have to give credit for both men for the spontaneity, the sense of adventure, the not letting the prospect of losing deny them from potential greatness by taking a risk. It's a risk for both fighters from both ends. This is risky. If this fight happens, for modern day boxing, this is one of the biggest game changers. For two ranked fighters to be doing what they're doing. This is unprecedented. And it had to be happening over Riyadh. This certainly wouldn't be happening on a PBC or top rank card for that matter. It wouldn't be happening. Matchroom, Queensbury, pre-Saudi, no. Wouldn't be happening.
And we have a new era in boxing.
Some people are even going so far to say that this is a better matchup than Dubois versus Parker. I'm picking Bakole. I think Joseph Parker's made a mistake here. You need a full training camp to fight Bakole. Parker's taking on the man who broke Daniel Dubois' nose in sparring. And if Bakole walks through Parker, the landscape is now wide open. Okay, Usyk is going to look to fight Dubois for Undisputed, but yeah, we've already seen Undisputed. We want to see you go take on Bakole. A new fight. We've already seen you beat up Dubois. Or at the least, we're going to want to see Dubois take on Bakole. Dubois can't just ignore the guy who beat up the guy you were supposed to fight. So Martin Bakole is going to try to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, and he's capable of doing it.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
Now, I'm just going to give you my picks. I think Callum Smith is going to beat Joshua Buatsi. That's what I believe. You know what? Another thing that stands out on this card is the size difference between some of the fighters. Like, Callum looked considerably bigger than Buatsi. Not just taller, he looked big. But then again, we'll see how they size up at the weigh-in. Virgil Ortiz looks a whole lot bigger than Madrimov, and it's making me kind of like perhaps sit on the fence on my pick. I was going to pick Madrimov, but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure now. I think Shakur's going to have trouble looking good against Josh Padley. I do. Josh is strong, he's plucky, but if Shakur is who I think he is, his speed should take it to a late stoppage or UD. Zhang looked colossal compared to Caballo. I was going to pick Caballo, but I'm on the fence. I was going to pick Carlos Adames to beat Hamza Shiraz, but I don't know, man. Like, Shiraz doesn't look physically imposing. It's just that height. How does he get down to 160? I think Adames is going to find it hard to punch upwards consistently. This is going to be a tough fight. I still want to hold my pick for Adames, but I don't want to cop out on all the picks, so I'm going to pick Shiraz. But he's got to get the job done early. If it goes past 7 or 8, then I believe it's Adames' fight. And the main event, you know I'm riding with Bivol. I thought Bivol won last time out, so I'm not going to break the fight down and say Bivol needs to do this. Bivol just needs to do what he did last time, and he should win, if they give the right man the verdict. Anthony Joshua joins the DAZN commentary. I wonder if he was considering throwing his hat into the mix to fight Joseph Parker, who he's beat already.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.